Okay, people, welcome to part 2 of the greatest wedding heartbreak of all time. Let's go. So Billy's there now and he's deciding, should he take the money and go back into the house and save his mum, or drive to the address where his fiancée Vanessa is and save her? He thinks for a moment, then he takes the money and he starts walking towards the house. And he pauses, turns around, and he gets into the car, closes the door, puts the address in the sat-nav, and turns the engine on. Before he can pull off, his mum Margaret comes running out of the house and jumps into the car. And then the two masked men come running after them and Billy pulls away. Then he says to his mum, some people have kidnapped Vanessa, I need to go and give them the money. Then his mum says to him, wait, you weren't going to come back for me? And there's an awkward silence. And Billy says, what's important now is you're here, let's go get Vanessa. So they arrive at the address. They get to the door and the door is slightly ajar. So they open it and they go inside. When they get inside, it's empty, but they can hear some noise and rumbling at the back. So they go to a room at the back. When they get into the room at the back, Vanessa is on the floor, her hands and feet are tied up. Then Vanessa says, how could you do this to me? And Margaret says, do what? We're here to save you. And she goes, not you, him. And Billy says, why would I do this to you? And she goes, not you, him. And she gestures behind her. Now Billy's turning around, whack! He's out cold. When Billy regains consciousness, he looks up and sees Margaret standing over him. And next to Margaret is Prince, Billy's best man. And he's holding a crowbar. And next to them are the two masked men. And then Margaret says to Prince, I can't believe you chose her, pointing to Vanessa, over me. And Prince says, yeah, auntie, I'm shocked. I thought he would definitely choose you. Then Margaret looks down at Billy and says, I did all this so that you could prove that you loved me more than you loved her. And Billy's still dizzy and groggy and trying to take in what's happening. Now Margaret turns to Prince and the two masked men and says, let's go. I no longer have a son. So they leave Billy and Vanessa behind. 6 months later, Billy and Vanessa are getting married. Everyone is outside the church except for Prince and Margaret. Billy's new best man, Ronald, is fixing Billy's tie. Now remember, Ronald is the husband of Billy's cousin, Amma. So while Ronald is fixing Billy's tie, Amma comes around the corner and she says, oh, you guys look really handsome. And they say, thank you. Then Amma's phone rings. So Amma hands her bag to Ronald and goes around the corner. When she gets on the phone, she listens and then says, yes, I'll make sure Vanessa takes it. Please don't tell my husband about the affair. And while she's on the phone, Billy says to Ronald, bro, I am so thirsty. Do you have some water for me? And Ronald goes, no, I don't. He goes, oh, hold on one sec. He looks in Amma's bag and he says, oh, there's a flask in here. He takes out the flask and he goes, drink this. Billy says, thank you. Now, as Billy is about to drink it, Amma comes around the corner saying, no, don't drink that. That's for Vanessa. Billy says, okay. And he hands it to her. And now as he hands it to her, the limousine with Vanessa and her bridesmaids arrives. So Amma says to everyone, get inside and take your positions. And then Amma goes towards the car, leaving her bag with Ronald. Billy then says to Ronald, bro, my breath is kicking. Do you have any bubble gum? Ronald goes, no, I don't. He goes, oh, actually, let me check. So he looks in Amma's bag again. And he goes, oh, there's no gum, but there's some mint. And he goes, mint, yeah, that will do. So he gives Billy the mint and Billy takes one. And then they go into the church. Amma goes to the limo and opens the door. And then Vanessa's bridesmaids step out. And then Vanessa steps out. And then Amma says to Vanessa, oh, you look really nervous. And Vanessa goes, yeah, I am. And Amma goes, oh, take a shot of this. It will calm your nerves. So then Vanessa takes the flask from Amma and starts drinking. And while she's drinking it, two men wearing long coats and fedoras, which are hiding their face, sneak into the church. Vanessa finishes drinking and gives the flask back to Amma. Now everyone's in the church and everyone is ready. The bridesmaids make their entrance and they walk down the aisle. Now it's time for Vanessa to come down the aisle. The music starts and Vanessa begins her walk. As Vanessa is walking down the aisle, one of the men with the long coats, who's at the back, puts his hand inside his coat and keeps it there. Vanessa gets to the front and where Billy's waiting for her. Billy reaches for her hand, and as she's about to take Billy's hand, Billy clutches his stomach and falls to the ground and starts bleeding from the mouth. Vanessa's like, what's going on? Amma comes, what's going on? Billy's bleeding from the mouth and he dies. When the two men of the coat see this, they run out of the church, cross the road and get into a car. And in that car is Prince and Margaret. And Margaret's excited. Margaret says, did Amma do it? Did she poison Vanessa with the mints? And the two men look at her and say, someone's dead, but it's not Vanessa. And then Margaret goes, who? So guys, that's the end of the greatest wedding heartbreak of all time. Subscribe to the channel. There'll be a new video out next week. So subscribe, peace, I'm out.